So we've been going through the Yoga Sutras one at a time, usually, for the past 40 weeks or something, a long, long time. We're on Yoga Sutra 147 today, and you don't need the book. I'm gonna, for everybody's sake, share a little bit about the journey we've been on, and we're getting very close to the end of book one. So we've been learning about how and why to meditate, and there's different levels of samadhi that can result from meditation. And last week we talked a little bit about what's called samadhi with seed, which is we can practice and get the benefits of meditation and some versions of samadhi or bliss, but they're still with seed, bija, the word in Sanskrit for seed, which means even though we can experience these states of bliss, there's an attachment still to our experiences, our memories, and we're not completely free from what tethers us to this material world. Prakriti is the word for that. And what he starts to talk about in these last 5 sutras in book 1 is the ultimate samadhi without seed. And here's what he says. In 147, he says, in the purity of nirvichara samadhi, which is non-reflective, the supreme self shines. This is what is called ritambara prajna, or the absolute true consciousness. And then in Sutra 149, this special truth is totally different from knowledge gained by hearing, study of scripture, or inference. Okay, so you can't study and get this state of samadhi. Continuing on with Sutra 150, the impression produced by this samadhi wipes out all the other impressions. So he's saying when you get to this seedless samadhi, this purest state, all the other versions of samadhi that you've experienced are gone. And the final sutra in book 1, Sutra 51, says, when even this impression is wiped out, every impression is totally wiped out, and there is seedless samadhi. This is the description he says. Only now does Patanjali describe the highest samadhi. Even with the ritambara prajna, the subtle mind is there. There is still a division between the prajna or wisdom and the owner of that wisdom. Even the feeling I have realized God should go. Then you are completely free. You have attained nirbija samadhi. There is no birth or death for you. You realize your immortality. Whew, that's big stuff. What he says in the discussion in those sutras is the path to getting to this seedless samadhi is silence. So in context of what we've been doing for many weeks, the other practices that we engage in and use on this path are valuable in preparing the mind for being still. So from scattered mind, lots of citta vritti, we learn to focus by bringing our attention to an anchor like the breath, or counting, or a mantra. Those are all seed versions of the practice. So we have an object that we can focus on. The more advanced practice is to do a seedless samadhi, which has no anchor. So that's what I'm going to invite us into today. If you reach Nirbija Samadhi. I'd love for you to teach this class next week. It's all practice. So I'm actually going to turn off the music today. I'm going to head over there in just a moment and turn it off. While I'm doing that, I'm going to invite you to create a posture for practice. So what that looks like for me is just grounding into my body. Wherever you are, feeling your feet and your seat. And then creating yourself upright. If you like to close your eyes and you haven't already, you're welcome to close your eyes or even lower your gaze. Regardless of my practice, I always start with attention to the breath as a way to just land and start to quiet the outer and inner sounds. I think of this practice as the state of being where all of my attention is so focused that I'm not aware of what's happening around me. Something like their state of mind painting or reading a really great book, but without seed, pure attention. take a bigger breath. And then do that again, kind of a clearing, coming back to your body, the space. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Smiles. First, let's open the conversation to any insights or questions.
I'd just like to say that my heart beats very loudly when I am trying to do this. It's like it's jumping out of my chest. I don't know if it does that all the time and I just don't notice, but it's just the loudest thing in the room. It seems to me. It feels like it doesn't sound, but I just wanted to share that.
Thank you for sharing. You're not alone. Marcia?
Interesting. I kept thinking Kate's got to say something. When is Kate gonna cue? And so this was a very fast meditation for me because, then I go back to my breath, but then I kept thinking she's gonna say something. It was interesting, but something I haven't shared and I'm remember all the tremors and everything. Maybe, and I can't, I'll have to go back in my notes, but from my last maybe weeks, the tremors just aren't there. I mean, I don't know whether I've learned with all the meditation and from just doing this with you and then what I've gotten from it, but I don't have, I might feel it inside. So the heart I can identify with, but I don't have this. So wow, is very interesting for me.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I would keep watching and talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
If meditation can truly help with tremor, that would be something that people need to know.
Yeah, really. So that was, yeah. And, it's like, I don't want to publicly say it because it's like, it's that awareness for maybe 3 weeks now. Your hands aren't shaking, your legs aren't shaking. So yeah. Thank you.
Keep us posted.
Yeah, I will.
Before we finish today, I do want to share a couple things. We're at the end of book 1. Good work for those who've been joining us. Welcome for those who are new to this. I'm going to pause our work on the sutras for a little while. We've got a few things going on here at the studio. We're going to start our 40-day program on Wednesday, and there's a meditation aspect to that. So in the 40-day program, people are asked the first week of the 6 weeks to meditate 5 minutes a day. And then the second week, it's 10 minutes. So I'm going to redirect some of what we're doing in these meditation classes to support that program. And it's always good, whether you're an experienced meditator or new, to kind of go back to the basics. So we're going to go back to the basics. And I'm very excited to pick up book 2 of the Yoga Sutras. I'm going to do a little more advertising about what I'm doing, because I think that there's so much value in studying the sutras 1 at a time or 3 at a time. And book 2 especially is about the practices of yoga, and it lays the foundation for the pure mind and pure body that is part of the platform for reaching these states of samadhi. So I think they have real value, and I want to see if there are more people that are interested in joining for that conversation. It might happen in December, it might happen in January, but we will continue. There's such a vastness to what we can do in these sessions. So I will keep us on this track, but we're going to detour for probably 6 to 8 weeks. I hope you'll continue to come. It's going to be worthwhile, regardless of the topic. Thank you. I appreciate each of you.